The energy truce has effectively exposed Putin's most significant problem, one that the Kremlin tried to keep strictly confidential. The British publication The Telegraph released an article stating that Russia's response, and Putin's personally, to attempts to temporarily halt strikes on Ukraine's energy sector revealed the Kremlin's key weakness: unstable control over the war and an inability to build a consistent strategy. The story of the so-called energy truce revealed much more than just a diplomatic pause. It essentially exposed the chaos within Russia's decision-making system and Moscow's unwillingness to honor even the most basic agreements. And now, more information in our report. My name is Yevhen Sirov. This is the Glavrachim. Subscribe and give us a like. Let's get started. According to the Telegraph, the idea of temporarily refraining from strikes on energy facilities was meant to be a step toward de-escalation, reducing civilian suffering and stabilizing the situation in the middle of winter. In theory, this looked like a small first step toward de-escalation, but in practice, Moscow showed the opposite. The Kremlin is incapable of honestly and systematically adhering even to such limited tactical agreements, viewing them rather as a tool for information games or a way to buy time. The backstory was as follows. After a wave of massive attacks on Ukrainian power grids, which led to widespread blackouts, Trump claimed that he had supposedly held talks with Putin, and that Putin had agreed to temporarily refrain from striking the energy sector. The news was presented as a possible signal of a de-escalation in the fighting. However, it later turned out that there were no legally formalized or officially confirmed agreements. There were no signed documents, no control mechanisms, no international guarantees. And before long, the strikes on infrastructure resumed. Transport hubs, ports, and energy facilities were being shelled, and this was happening precisely at the time when there was supposed to be a formal pause. According to media reports, Russian negotiators even privately apologized for certain casualties. However, officially, the Kremlin neither acknowledged the existence of a ceasefire nor took responsibility for breaking it. Moreover, this situation dealt a serious blow to Russia's own international image. When Moscow tries to present itself as a constructive player, but then blatantly fails to keep its promises, it undermines its position even among neutral countries. As a result, the Kremlin is increasingly seen as an unreliable partner with whom it is impossible to build stable agreements, which complicates any future diplomatic mediation efforts. Ukrainian analysts add that the story with the energy truce proved another important point. Moscow sees no sense in a real ceasefire unless it receives direct benefits for itself. In other words, any pauses are used solely as a tactical tool to regroup forces, restore resources, reduce international pressure, or buy time. There's no talk of genuine de-escalation. That's why Kyiv is increasingly insisting on the need for clear control mechanisms, international observers, officially signed documents, and sanctions for violations.